Mic check. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetically Black, Never Broken, Always Empowered. I am Brittany, joined by my co-host for the evening, Rich's wife, the beautiful Brittany.
Hey. Good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. So we kicked the men off for the night. They'll be back, and you can catch them in the trap house whenever on Saturdays. So you'll see them. But yeah, we kicked them out for the night. We are having a ladies' night. I have been well, though, to answer your question. Ryan started swim lessons last week. You know, we're training him up to be the next Aquaman from the Alabama brawl. Ready for anything. He got hands. He about to swim his ass over there. Right. Like, so just trying to get used to that. Like, I've just been tired. Like, it's hard. But besides that, yeah, just work, family, repeat. You know, smoke, sleep, repeat.
Well, like mine is drink, sleep, repeat. I'm like, good gracious.
That too. I've been trying to cut out drinking because I can feel that I'm gaining weight again. I'm like, fuck, okay, let me cut back, I suppose.
It's the month of July. I only drink this heavy because of the birthdays on Richie's side. It's the month of
August, actually.
Oh. Well, it's the month of July. Richie's family, most of them are Cancers. So they are born in the month of July. So we do a lot of drinking and hanging out and fun stuff. My family is the month of January, but I don't live near them. So my liver is...
That's real. And it's cold in North Carolina in January.
Yes, really cold.
So...
But yeah, I just got Fat Mama back. She just got back. She's been gone since May.
Oh, wow.
And I got her on the 1st. I'm a mom again, I guess.
Your momcation is over.
My hot mom summer ended.
Exactly. Abruptly. School's about to start. I'm excited for all of that. I'm ready for all of that, to be honest with you. So
she starts on Wednesday.
So school doesn't start here until the end of the month. August 27th or 28th, whatever that Monday is. The weekend. I know, right? A little bit longer, but we're almost there. But yeah, so today we're here to talk about divorce. I personally have not been divorced, but I am a child of divorce.
Okay.
So that would be like the closest experience I have with that overall. But I definitely still have opinions and things to say. But for you, what has been your experience with it?
I am a child of divorce as well, but I have been through a divorce.
Okay.
So I have a lot to say about that as well.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, I'll let you kick it off because as someone who has been divorced and now you're remarried, so you've kind of done the whole like circle of life, for lack of a better word, when it comes to relationships. So yeah, I guess just talk a little bit about, you know, your divorce experience. I'll give you the floor. I won't even.
Okay,
really,
so for one, my first marriage was pride. I got married because of pride. Mm-hmm. Everybody was telling me I shouldn't. I said, y'all don't know me. Done it anyway.
You're Gemini.
Yes.
Gemini shit.
Tell me something you don't want me to do and I challenge accept.
Right.
But going through my divorce, it was the best thing for me and him. I learned, I have been with him for 5 years. We were never good. Mm-hmm. I will say that. So for us to even get married was stupid. It was the dumbest thing. However, after my divorce, it made it a lot easier in my marriage now to say, hey, if I don't like this, I can leave.
Right. So, it empowered you.
Yes, it did. I have to fight more when we argue to stay married than
to
most. Yeah, because I'm like, hey, I don't have to deal with this. I can get out of this. But it was because my first marriage was. I was happy when I signed my papers. I was excited. Mm-hmm. It was easy. He was messed up. He was a messed up individual. We had been through so much shit. Oh, Lord. Cars and not supposed to be in my name. I was logging in, found out that he was buying stuff off of Shein before Shein even got real big. I'm like, bro, what the?
Not Shein.
I went on there to order something. My old address popped up. I said, I ain't lived there in 10 years.
Yikes. Yikes.
So yeah, it was empowering. It is very empowering. I'm not a advocate for divorce, but I will say if you're not happy, get out of it.
Yeah. No, I feel that. So how old were you when you got married?
That's a good question. Oh, I was 24. Sorry.
Okay. That's hilarious. That's a good question.
I was 24 when I got married. The first time I was 25 when I got divorced.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So it was quick.
Real quick. Didn't take me long. I was not standing that.
That's hilarious. So I know you said a lot about like women empowerment and and feeling empowered by that situation. Mm-hmm. I was like doing a little research about divorce in general, and I found out that 80% of divorces are filed by women. Yes. Yeah. So what do you believe is the leading cause of divorces today? Because it's always finances. But what do you believe?
Lack of communication. I believe that a lot of people right now say, oh, I like this person. I love this person. Mm-hmm. They don't really like the person. They're not friends. They're just, oh, we have good sex. Oh, we like this. We like that together. Let's get married. Right. But you don't have the conversations if there's children involved or before you have children. How are we going to do this? Lack of communication will kill a relationship. Almost as fast as money. Money is a big thing.
Yeah, I know for me with Jamal, like money has never been, so that's never been something that I feel like would like affect our relationship because we didn't start with any. So like everything we're building together. We're fucking up together. You know what I mean? We're spending it. Yes. So it's like, that's never felt like something that would tarnish our relationship. I agree with you as far as like lack of communication goes, lack of intimacy. Because I feel like, especially Black men, but men in general don't understand intimacy beyond sex.
No, I had to teach Richard. I had to really teach him because he believed like if we in the same room together, we're spending time together. No, we're not. Right. I'm just on my phone and you on your phone. We're just in the same room. We're not connecting in any kind of way. We're not spending time. We're just around each other. Mm-hmm. You know, family time is also time that we're together. No, it's not. We are a family. It's different having intimacy with your spouse than than having family time. I can have family time and we're not married. Mm-hmm. But I cannot have an intimate time if we're not together. I mean, in those realms. If we're not together, there's no point. But I can always have family time with you. Thanks. So I had to teach him that he grasped pretty fast.
Yeah. That's That's good.
It was something.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. I think he is okay. So Jamal has a very, very high sex drive. And so, like, to him, that is intimacy. And it's, you know, his dream as a child to be like, you know, I have this beautiful wife that I can, you know, touch boobies all the time. Like, basically, right? That's how he feels. And I had to kind of like explain to him that it's beyond that. It's the emotional connection. It's the ability to like put your walls down, to have these conversations as like raw as possible type of situation. And I feel like right now we've been together 5 years, we've been married for 4, and we're just now getting to a part of our relationship where both of us have our walls down at the same time. Because that's also a thing. And we're able to kind of like, we're learning each other well enough to be able to think how that person would feel in a situation, or you know what I mean, like put ourselves in our, you know, each other's shoes. And like that's a level of intimacy you cannot get with anyone else, for real.
No.
Or you shouldn't have with anyone. Let's say that.
Should
not have with anyone else.
Shouldn't have that.
Yeah.
We have, you know, the same situation. It's like right now is the most open. And I think it's, other than when we first got together, this is the most open we have been with each other. I mean, we wake up and if I don't like him that day, I'm like, okay, not feeling you today. Or I wake up and I'm like, hey, I love you, now love me. You know, it's days that we have that. It's days like, I think it was yesterday. I was like, hey, y'all are getting on my nerves. It's not your fault. I'm just irritated. He was like, oh, well, thanks for telling me, that way I don't feel like I've done something or the kids have done something.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, okay.
right. It's being accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. For us, so Jamal and I have a rule. We have a rule where divorce essentially isn't an option, right? So I have not been through one. I have once again been the child of one. Not a huge fan of how life overall worked. Like, I was a happy kid, don't get me wrong. But like when I think about it, like the relationship, the lack of relationship I had with my father because of the divorce, and there's no other reason, just because you're not in the household, it speaks volumes. To this day, like even like when my mom passed, I looked at my dad and I was like, I don't even know your favorite color. Like, I don't know shit about you. Like, other than you're my father and I love you, and it's not like we have a bad relationship, but like, I don't know. I don't have that type of familiarity. And like with having Julian out of wedlock, obviously, and not having a good relationship with his father. And when I met Jamal, I was like, look, I want the next person I'm with to be the last person I'm with. I'm not trying to be somebody else's baby mama. So like, I was like 9 months pregnant when we went to the courthouse. Like we about to make this shit official. So we have this like divorce rule where, and we've both broken it, but we don't mention it unless we really fucking mean it. Like, unless like you are printing papers as we speak, like, like you have a notary like ready on call to like, you know, whatever needs to be done. And overall, as we're going through this phase of our marriage of being very raw and very open, we are finding that there aren't very many things that would lead us down that path. So like not very many conditions in which we would actually leave. And that feels kind of like weird. As someone who was traditionally essentially non-monogamous, and I apologize to any of my exes who listen because they weren't non-monogamous, but I was
Here's what it is.
Right. But I was. So yeah. It's a weird feeling to feel like there's really nothing that this nigga could do that I would get to that point. Unless it's just absolutely out of character.
Right.
Like just who are you type of situation. I know that, based off of what you were saying earlier and just in general, that like you're quick, you're ready to leave. You're quick to leave. Yeah, I mean, and I get it, girl. I get it.
It's easier. It's not the healthiest. It's not the most ideal. It's not. I'm not promoting that, and I'm not always proud of it.
Right.
However, to me, I'm like, okay, I don't have to deal with this headache. We arguing? Okay, really and truly, I don't have to be here. I can be somewhere else. However, I do love my husband, right. So I stay. But I mean, my first divorce, I said, hey, look, we're getting a divorce. He was like, I don't want a divorce. I said, I don't care what you want. I came home. I was probably in town. I was in my hometown for probably 2 hours tops. And that was enough to kiss my mom and say, hey, I'm here. Hug my grandmother, say, hey, I'm here. And then I was at the courthouse. I sat there. I filled out the papers, took them to a notary, took them to him. Hey, either sign or we have other options that we can, take.
Right, right.
You've done some stuff where I can say, hey, man. Yeah. But he signed. He didn't give me any problems. I was divorced a month and a half later.
Oh, wow.
So I was pretty happy. I did it really fast. Of course, we didn't have any kids. So there was nothing to talk about on that end. He didn't have any money. What am I going to do? $0 make 0 cents. So
facts.
It's a lot. But it did give me a flight instead of a fight mentality for a very long time. But it wasn't just him. It was also watching my parents go through their divorce. Don't really call him my dad. The man who helped make me.
Sperm donor.
There we go. Sperm donor. When he divorced my mom, he divorced me and my brothers. So it's like I didn't have a choice if I wanted to have a relationship. It was it was given to me that I wasn't. So I was like, okay, well, I was a daddy's girl. I loved him more than anything. I never put their relationship as my problem. I always said, hey, look, y'all is y'all. It's me and my dad. But then when he stopped everything, I was like, wait, what did I do to you?
Right.
And for a very long time, I lived my life like that. Like, hey, I don't have to do anything for you to leave me, so I will leave first. I lived my life like that. It wasn't healthy, but I got over it.
Yeah.
And a lot of my relationships before, well, I say even during this marriage, I've always said, hey, he didn't stay, so why do I expect you to stay? But because of their divorce, it hurt me, and people have to understand that divorce do hurt the kids if it's not healthy.
Yeah. And I do feel like it's such a more difficult thing in practice, like easier said than done type of situation. Just because there's really no such thing as even time, no matter how you split it, because there's always time away. And in that time away, anything can fucking happen, like good and bad. So yeah, and it's pretty trash. Like, and like, the best way, like the best way I can explain it. Yeah.
Depending on some divorces, mine is I love mine.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, but with kids, like with kids involved. Yeah. I mean, if it's the end of a relationship, it's the end of the relationship. Like I was raised Catholic. Clearly my parents got divorced. But my grandmother did not believe in divorce, and she, I mean, she put up with a lot of shit. Like, at one point in time, my grandpa moved his mistress into the house. Like, it was a lot. And, you know, stayed married with him until he passed. I know that a lot of things online, like I see a lot of things online where people are like, why don't we, you know, why aren't relationships like they used to be, you know, with our grandparents and our great grandparents, and why can't we make relationships last? You look like you have thoughts on that. Go for it.
They don't understand. Papa was a Rolling Stone was written for a reason.
Facts. No, you're right. Had whole ass families.
I mean,
like,
3
next door.
Yes, next door. And then I have to deal with the biggest comparison I can give is the movie Fences, where the man walks in and he says, hey, can you help me take care of my kid?
Yeah.
The one you just had, we've been married for 20 years, and you come in with an infant, and she says yes.
Yeah.
But that's what people want. Why don't it last? Because we don't want to deal with that bullshit. That's why. No, I'm not going to deal with that.
That's probably one of the leading causes of divorce. And this is probably like gonna have people like throwing tomatoes at me through their computer screen. Is probably the feminist movement. Just women empowerment as a whole. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I'm saying that that's one of the leading causes, is feeling like you can be okay without them. I, for one, am not going to hold you. I need a man. I can't. I'm not going to be the one to say I don't need one. I do. And I do act accordingly. I don't think like bringing home a baby would probably be something that I can't put up with. But aside from that, or anything openly disrespectful, yeah, I'm pretty mild mannered, pretty chill.
For the most part, I stay where I'm supposed to, if that makes sense. I am the type, I speak my mind when I want to, I say what I want to. However, when I'm dealing with other people, I kind of just fall to the side. But with that, it's like I don't deal with a lot of bullshit. I will not deal with bullshit.
Yeah.
And Richard will tell you, especially when we first met, it was easy for me to say, hey, you can stop talking to me about that. Yeah. I think now I guess the word wouldn't be submit.
But it's submit.
But it's submit.
I don't want to say that, but
I will say that in this marriage, I feel like a wife. So submitting to him sometimes is a lot easier. Now, my ex-husband, he'll probably tell you, hey, she would tell me, shut the fuck up. And that's exactly what it was. I was the husband. He was the wife. I make the money. You shut up and take this allowance and leave me alone. So I won't say the women's movement is what helped me. It was my mom. Right. Watching her and watching how strong she was going through her divorce, and, you know, able to bounce back and be the strongest woman that I've ever seen. You took care of 3 kids, raised them to be phenomenal people. I think me and my brothers are really good people. I won't say by herself. She had a huge village to help raise us as well.
On the day-to-day.
Yeah, but I know that
it was orchestrated.
Yeah, even if I chose to get a divorce today, I would be like, I'm good. I can make it. But like you, I like being in a relationship. I love this relationship. I want to be in this relationship, but I like being in a relationship. So I don't know.
Yeah, nah, it really makes you feel like a simp. Like, fuck.
Yeah. I'm harder than this in real life.
Right. Exactly. Catch me on the streets. No, I feel that. So do you believe that unconditional love exists.
No. I tell people all the time, there is always conditions, and my love comes with conditions. It might not be the same that you might have, but I have. If you go out here and kill somebody, might got love for you, but hey.
I gotta go. I'm not going down with you. I don't love you that much.
No, and it's some things like people say, oh, love is so unconditional. It's not. It's conditions with it. You have conditions. If you didn't, and if it was true, there would be no divorce.
Yeah. And I agree. I feel like there are so many divorces because a lot of people get married who shouldn't get married. Like if you think about all of your friends who are in relationships right now, half of them you don't agree with that relationship. Like there's something about it where you're like, girl, you should have, or you know, like nigga, like her, you know, like, and people get married because they've been together so long, not because there's any real driving anything towards it. It's just society tells you it's been 5 years, it's been 6 years, it's been whatever, and you should put a ring on it. And fear of being alone or just fear of change causes people to get married to someone they shouldn't have been married to. I do feel like if people took marriage more seriously, there would be less divorces. And I don't mean like make it work with someone, but I mean before you go into a marriage with someone, like not being some Vegas shit after 24 hours, it not being like someone where you haven't scratched the surface or it's just a physical attraction. I think that people don't take relationships seriously enough. Yes. And that's why divorce rates are so high. But as far as like unconditional love goes, I feel like the purest and the most unconditional love is with my child, with your child. Yes. But I will say that like personally, the love that I have with my husband, this is so sappy. This is not even what this is supposed to be. Is probably the closest to an unconditional love situation. Honestly, even if he murdered somebody, I'd be like, so what we gonna do next?
That's yours. You go stand behind him.
Yeah. Like my dad was a cheater. That's why my parents got divorced. I remember my mom told me that one day she was driving around at 2 a.m. with her 4-year-old or her, I think 6-year-old and 2-year-old, or maybe my sister wasn't born yet. I don't even know. But like had her kids in the car at 2 a.m. And that's when she was like, no, I'm not doing this. This isn't my life. And I get that. I will say that like, this sounds cocky, but like cheating's not a fear of mine with Jamal. Like that's worrying about it. I'm not saying it's because of me, but it's because of him, and it's because of his behavior and the type of person he is. Right. But like even still, I think I'd forgive it. So there's a lot less conditions in my marriage, not even my current relationship, in my marriage, that I feel like I mean, I'd fight tooth and nail for it until there's just no reason to. Until he's giving me a reason not to fight for it, I'm not gonna.
Understandable. My first marriage, I cheated. That ain't gonna hold you. I cheated. I just, to me, it was, I didn't feel like I was in a marriage. So to me, everything that I was doing was under the conditions that I was single. Right. I did pretend a lot. I would say, I got a husband, whatever. But
it was cute to say.
It was cute to say. Everybody, my man. But I had another man.
Thank you to my man.
I mean, but it's cute. But I think that's another thing. A lot of women say, I can't wait to be able to say my husband. Yes. But sometimes you say my husband and you say, I want to square up with his ass too. it's not always a smile behind when you say, yeah, my husband, because sometimes his ass done got on your nerves and you're like, I could leave you right now.
Right.
And not turn back. But I think that marriage is cute for people now. It's cute. It's something to do. When it's not, I refuse. I am also this type. I refuse to spend a whole bunch of money on a wedding. I refuse to spend a whole bunch of money on all this shit. And my first marriage, I didn't spend a lot of money. I went to the courthouse. But going through what I went through with my first marriage also showed me, hey, look, it's not the I'm getting married part. It's the I'm married and what the hell?
Right.
Why did I do this? And it's work all day, every day. And sometimes people don't want to put in that work. So divorce is the biggest caveat to take, I guess.
Yeah. I feel you. So do you feel like divorce is a failure?
No. Some people that I look at divorces and I'm like, hey, that was the best thing for your life. I've seen people come out and they come out so beautiful, so wonderful. Their life takes a full 360 because of what they went through. They don't look like the shit that they went through in that marriage. So sometimes I think it is a beautiful thing. I believe we marry the wrong people.
Yeah.
And which you've already said that, but I do agree with you. Sometimes you marry the wrong people, and when you marry the wrong person, it's like hell on earth.
Yeah. I believe that. Because I don't, like I said, I've never been married, but I've had trash relationships. And just that energy in your life, consistently like eating away at like your fucking livelihood, it definitely takes a toll. I can genuinely say that I am supportive of people who need to leave. It is when it is something that can be worked through and people give up too quickly that I'm like, you took vows, you signed a contract. So minimally, from a business perspective or from a legal perspective, you signed a contract. And I feel like it's not taken as seriously and things aren't worked through like it should be.
Right.
But do I think it's a failure? No. I think socially people make you feel as if you failed if you say you've been divorced X amount of times. But I feel like you said, it's usually marrying too quickly, and it's either for the wrong reasons or with the wrong people.
Yes. And if you do it for either reason, you're going to go through hell and high water trying to stay afloat. But for me, I'm like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't wake up every day and say, oh, here we are again in this marriage. I was tired of doing that. So it's like a lot of people, I'm like, hey, you know your breaking point. You know when you'll get out of it. And when you do, especially if you're one of my friends, I'm like, I'll be right there with my arms open to, say, it's
I'm going to throw you a divorce party. Like, I don't plan on getting divorced, but I would love to throw someone a divorce party.
I want to throw a divorce party and somebody a baby shower. I've never done either one.
True. Well, count me out for their both. But I'll send them your way.
Yeah, because I'm not having another baby or divorce. So
exactly. So my last question to you is, when did you know you were ready to date again and or get married? Like, what made you want to get married again?
So I guess I never went through am I ready to date again, because I was already dating.
No, I mean, I feel that.
Yeah, I was already dating.
Gemini gang.
It was never a time where, I was like, am I ready to date? No, I was ready. because I was tired of him.
Right. Now I feel that. But what made you want to get married again?
I love the love that me and Richard had together.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely new. It was completely different than the other trash relationships in my marriage, my first marriage. So I was like, it's different. I don't know why and what makes it so different, but I actually feel like I can be soft.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was something that I was experiencing every day with him. So I was like, hey, I would like to marry him. And he told me we would get married. So I said, okay.
I mean, that works.
It's not really a lovey-dovey type thing. I was just like, hey, I like you. You like me.
Right. I feel that.
We were best friends. I'll say that. Me and him have always been friends first. That's something that I never did with anybody else. I can say that I might have loved them, but I didn't like them. With Richard, I like him and I love him. Mm-hmm. So once I realized that me and him were friends, which is something that we keep, we've always said, hey, we will stay friends before we stay husband and wife. Mm-hmm. But now that we know how to navigate both in the relationship, I was like, this is somebody that I can do forever with, because we do have more than just, hey, it's good sex. We're like,
right.
We can be in a room laughing and talking about nothing all day, every day. So friendship and loved them. I was like, hey, let's get married.
That's real. I mean, yeah, I get it. The vibes are there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I didn't turn into a girl until I got with him. I was always like a tomboy. So
you had a whole ass daughter.
Yeah, so I'm the middle child of two brothers. Mm-hmm. I've only hung out with dudes. So when I got with him, it was like, oh, I can tap into this soft girl.
Yeah.
And I can be a girl now. Oh, I like this.
Right.
So a lot of my answers are going to be hardcore type. Just now entering that.
That's hilarious. No, and that's fine. Like, you don't need to explain the nigga side of you.
Hey.
I wasn't hurt, so I just moved the fuck on. The quickest way to get over somebody. And I respect it. Like, there's no judgment here at all.
You go under somebody and you're like, hey.
Yeah, let me slide over here real quick. That nigga was so 23 hours ago.
Yes. And I don't even think it was 23. Oh, my goodness.
Look, like I said, no judgment. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to say that we did not touch on? Give you that.
Let's see. I guess, just being, you bring in certain feelings when you are a child of divorce, or you've had to deal with divorce. You do bring that into your new relationships. That might have been slightly throughout touched on, but those feelings you have to fight to make sure that your new relationship goes a lot smoother than what it was before, because sometimes you can find yourself blaming them for shit that they ain't even done.
Facts.
And you walk around and you're pissed off because maybe they didn't say I love you when you wanted them to, or maybe they didn't do this when you needed them to. But because of the trauma you went through as a child, through watching your mom and your dad get a divorce, or the divorce yourself, you bring that in and you're like, I'm pissed off at you. But it's not really them you're pissed off at.
Right.
You're mad at the trauma. And that it's okay to seek help after a divorce, because you're not healed. As happy as I was not healed. I was a very much broken person, because I had to deal with a lot of, okay, I'm not with him anymore. I'm with this person over here.
Yeah.
So I have to love them a lot differently than the way that I did whatever I did over here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, that's real. And I think that's an important message in general, like all month as we talk about relationships. So today we're talking about divorce. Next week it's cheating. And then the week after, we're going to do a marriage part 2 episode. So you'll be seeing Brittany all month. But yes, so as we talk about all of this, I think it's really important to understand that it is okay to seek help, both in professional therapy and in just being more open with what you're going through with those you trust and love. Because I feel like a lot of times when it's masked in you having your hot girl summer, or it's masked in you staying home and just shutting down, like whatever it is, like open up and talk to people, because not that all advice is good advice. However, sometimes just the verbalizing your emotions can help you heal. But it's also just important to get into every relationship from the most healed place you can. And not bring that baggage over and around, because we all deal with childhood trauma, every single one of us, especially as Black people, just because the extra shit we have to go through. But I think that don't allow any of your childhood trauma, right, to like affect your family and your adult relationships, because like, you know what I mean? Otherwise it's like, what's the
point?
What's the point of being an adult if the shit that happened to me 25 years ago is continuously like fucking up everything I try to build?
And our community has to know that it's okay to seek help. It's okay to sit on somebody's couch, if that's how you look at it, and talk to them, because I can't always get the right advice from my friends. None of my friends are licensed therapists, so I cannot get the right advice. It's good to vent to them and, get it off your chest and things like that. But sometimes you have to go through healing. Sometimes you have to find
do that shadow work.
Yeah, because it's it helps. It helps within. It helps you know who you are, and it also helps you to know if before you get married, do I want to be with this person?
You are what you want, and are you getting that out of where you are?
And am I broken because of this, or am I broken because of that? How do I heal? Because you can't put pieces together that you don't know if they fit or not.
They might not be from the same puzzle.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I completely agree with that. But thank you so much, Britt, for joining me tonight and having this conversation. I will say totally lost my train of thought. Anyways, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow us on all major platforms, social media. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on X. However, it's a weird place to be. I'm like weirded out by the fact that the app changed on my phone and everything still.
Sound right.
Right? We're on TikTok. So make sure you check us out in all of those places. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay unapologetically Black. Have a good night. Not ready. Here we go.